Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Jeffrey Epstein Show. I'm your host, Bobbycapucci, and this is Daily Drop number 114. Hey, everyone. Hope everybody enjoyed their weekend, and I hope everyone is rested and recharged and ready to tackle the week. So we're pretty much caught up on just about everything here at the Jeffrey Epstein Show right now. So there's no new stories that need to be covered tonight, really. So I'm going to cover the Saturday Night Live sketch that they did last night, their first cold open of the new season. And to be honest with you, I haven't really been a big fan of Saturday Night Live for quite some time. It's just, it's not as funny as, like when I was growing up, how funny it was then. I mean, I don't hate it by any stretch of the imagination, but it's not like too must watch TV anymore. Whereas back in the day, I used to want to watch it all the time. Well, their cold open of the season was pretty good last night. They decimated Dershowitz. They really gave I kept my underwear on Dershowitz the business. And for that, hey, I'm happy. Anybody giving Dershowitz the business is something that I want to tune into, right? And overall, it was just a good sketch. You had Adam Driver playing Jeffrey Epstein. John Lovitz was playing Dershowitz. You had an appearance by Mitch McConnell and Susan Collins. In general, it was a pretty funny skit. All they were missing was Bill Clinton. They should have had Bill Clinton involved somehow, but for what it was absolutely bang on, because we all understand that Dershowitz is slimy as hell, right? In my opinion, Alan Dershowitz is slimy as slimy could be. And we don't even need to get into the Jeffrey Epstein, right? We all know what sort of disgusting monster he is. So if anyone should be getting raked over the coals, it's these clowns. All right, so if you'd like to contact me, you can do that at bobbycapucci@protonmail.com. That's BOBBYCAPUCCI@protonmail.com. All right, and now to the article. This article is from the New York Post, and it was written by Lee Brown. The headline, SNL Cold Open. Alan Dershowitz reunites with just hanging Jeffrey Epstein in hell. And now, obviously, I'm sure everyone has watched the clip by now or watched it, but I figured it was something that we should enter into the catalog so that we have it here and, we could refer back to it at some point, check out the clip and have another laugh. So, to the article. And, make sure, if you haven't seen it yet, you can watch it on YouTube, or if you click on the post link here, they have a hyperlink to it, so you can check it out there as well. All right, so on to the article. President Trump impeachment lawyer Alan Dershowitz got sent to hell in the first Saturday Night Live skit of 2020, getting reunited with pedophile Jeffrey Epstein, who said he was just hanging. And like I said, Adam Driver played Jeffrey Epstein in the skit, and he did a pretty damn good job. It was pretty funny. SNL legend John Lovitz made a return to the comedy show to play Dershowitz, rehearsing his planned impeachment trial strategy for Senators Mitch McConnell and Susan Collins. After terrifying them that he would compare Trump to his former clients, naming Epstein, O.J. Simpson, and Klaus von Bülow, Lovitz Dershowitz had a heart attack in the cold open and ended up in hell. Oh my gosh, look at that. Freaking Dershowitz, a red-suited Satan, played by Kate McKinnon, says excitedly, jumping up to give a hug, then pointing out he wasn't even dying. So yeah, if you haven't watched it yet, she, Dershowitz supposedly has a heart attack and dies, and goes to meet Satan. And when he gets down there to meet Satan, who is played by Kate McKinnon, she gets all pumped up about it that she's actually getting to meet Dershowitz. I'm going to send you back upstairs in a minute. Honestly, I just really wanted to meet you, McKinnon's horn-headed Satan gushed. I never say this. I'm a huge fan. No, seriously, you're the GOAT, Satan told him, referring to the greatest of all time, and saying she was about to fangirl out so hard. So they're savaging Dershowitz here right now, saying he is such an evil, disgusting SOB that Satan even wants to meet him, that Satan is pumped up to meet him, and that Satan's a huge fan of his work. So for somebody like Dershowitz, who goes crazy if his name's even mentioned in the media, this has to be a real kick to the gut, right? Saturday Night Live, their first cold open of the season, and they just completely and utterly savage him this way. Absolutely perfect. Well done. Satan then interviewed Dershowitz for her podcast, saying she invented the audio shows where the lawyer said he would represent anyone who is famous enough to get me on TV. Oh boy, hilarious. Star Wars actor Adam Driver, the episode's host, then walked out as late pedophile Epstein, who Dershowitz had represented, even getting accused of having sex with one of the pedophile's accusers. Asked what he was doing there, Driver's Epstein replied, "Just hanging," drawing gasps at the quip about the multimillionaire pedophile who was found hanging in his Manhattan federal lockup in August. And that line was perfectly delivered when Driver said it, folks. Kylo Ren came out and he dropped a bomb on these folks. Oh, just hanging. It was absolutely hilarious, and I was dying watching it. And if you haven't seen it yet, me telling you about it obviously does not do it justice. Make sure you click on the link and you go check it out. When Epstein said it was too bad I was murdered, his lawyer seemed to hint at widely spread conspiracy theories that the pervert was killed by famous friends, replying, "I know, trust me, I know." And while that's a joke for them and they're just trying to throw it in there, what it shows you is how much this has embedded itself in the mainstream, folks. How much this whole entire Jeffrey Epstein situation has gone mainstream. And people don't believe what they're hearing in this story, right? It's not like, it's some crazy guy just saying, "Oh, this didn't happen." There's like no evidence to prove the narrative that they're trying to feed us. There's zero evidence, folks. So, now that this is embedded in mainstream, you have Saturday Night Live doing a cold open, the first one of the season, and I get it, right? It's more of an attack on Dershowitz, and that's fine, because Dershowitz deserves to be attacked, right? I have no love for Alan Dershowitz. I have zero love for Alan Dershowitz. I've told you here on the podcast 100 times, if you're going to believe Virginia about one thing, you have to believe her about the rest, right? So I believe Virginia Roberts' account of everything that happened. In my opinion, what she said about all of these people is true. And I understand that these networks and shows like even SNL, they have to tread lightly, but I wish they would have went a little bit further, right? It's not just because Dershowitz has defended these people. No, that's not the case, at least not for me. While I find him reprehensible, I believe that everyone's entitled to defense in this country. And, that's just the way it is. But at the same time, I'm not going to forget that he is being accused of actually abusing Virginia Roberts, folks, all right? There is no way in hell that him representing OJ or Von Bulow or anybody else or Epstein or anyone is worse than him engaging in the actual act, right? So don't get me wrong. I think he's reprehensible, and personally, as a lawyer, I don't think I could ever defend these people. But I understand that as a lawyer, that's your job. I mean, it's just the way it is. These guys become lawyers. They don't, for the most part, they don't pick and choose who they're going to defend, as in depending on the crime, right? These lawyers, they try and defend their clients to the best of their ability. And, while I believe that his defense of Epstein did go overboard, right? Alan Dershowitz is not like your regular kind of lawyer, in my opinion. Alan Dershowitz is the kind of guy that gets into the back room and starts making all sorts of crazy deals. So it's not like he's just, defending these people in the court of law and, doing his best to get them off. Oh, no, it was a whole different thing with Epstein, right? So I can understand why the outrage of him defending Epstein was there. But the other clients, I really can't get too fired up about, because at the end of the day, no matter how good your lawyer is, if you're guilty and the state has a quality case, you're going to be in a lot of trouble, right? Because unless, of course, you're Epstein and you're being protected by intelligence, the state loves their convictions, boy, especially the feds. So, look, Dershowitz is a completely and disgusting, gross individual. And him getting fired up and roasted like this on Saturday Night Live, for all of the people who might not be that familiar with the case, for all of them to see as well, it is much welcomed. And I hope that people continue this trend and keep blasting him, because I kept my underwear on. Dershowitz deserves it. He deserves the scrutiny, and he deserves to be asked a lot of seriously hard questions. Others greeting them in hell included the man who wrote the kids' song Baby Shark, Flo from the Progressive TV ads, and recently killed off Mr. Peanut, who said he was there because he took out a lot of first graders with peanut allergies. Even McConnell, played by Beck Bennett and wrapped in white towels, joined them, saying he just used hell as a sauna. Last out was Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg, played by Alex Moffat, as Hell's IT guy, there to fix the cable in time for the impeachment trial. I just want everyone to know that I don't endorse evil. I just help millions of people share it, Moffat Zuckerberg said. Even for me, that's haunting, Satan replied, ending the skit. Well, one thing I will say about the impeachment trial, I don't think you're going to have to worry about, fixing the cable in time. Nobody's really watching it, unfortunately, folks. It's just political theater, and it doesn't seem that too many people are that interested in it. But the skit last night, that SNL skit last night, was absolutely, positively worth watching. So if you have not seen it yet, folks, me reading it obviously does not do it the justice it deserves. You have to watch it. The deliveries are great. And I'm not really a big John Lovitz fan, but he did a pretty damn good job in this skit. And it's funny that he was in this because I was just talking to my girlfriend, Carrie, and I was telling her the other day, I forget what show was on TV, but John Lovitz was in it. And I was like, man, I really don't care for John Lovitz all that much, except for some of the stuff he did on Saturday Night Live. And lo and behold, a few days later, there he is back on Saturday Night Live. So if you haven't checked it out, make sure you do that. The video is in the article, so you can click on the hyperlink inside of the description box and go to the article there, or just go to the New York Post itself and check it out. And it's definitely well worth the watch. All right, folks, I will be back tomorrow morning with the usual morning update. And we'll keep it rocking and rolling. If you'd like to contact me, you can do that at Bobbycapucci at protonmail.com. That's BOBBYCAPUCCI at protonmail.com. If you would like to help support the podcast, you can do that by clicking on the GoFundMe link inside of the description box. All right, folks, I hope everybody has a great night.